Something is brewing inside Keir Starmer's Labour Party, and it's not quiet. Just days after one political firestorm, another is now erupting, and this time it's coming from the very people who put him in power. What's behind the growing unrest, and why are senior Labour MPs already threatening open revolt? Stick around as we break it down. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. We have released our new 0% Liberal t-shirts. You can find them at britishstand.com or go to the link in the description. Let's get back into today's video. Labour leader Keir Starmer is facing fresh turmoil from within his own party, as backbench MPs prepare to revolt over concerns about the future of support for special educational needs and disabled SND children in England schools. The row erupted after Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson gave an interview on Sunday in which she outlined Labour's commitment to reforming the system for supporting pupils with learning difficulties or disabilities. While she emphasised the need for reform, she notably stopped short of confirming whether families would retain the legal right to bespoke educational support for their children. This omission has alarmed a number of Labour backbenchers who fear the party may be drifting toward a cost-driven model that could see critical safeguards weakened or removed entirely. According to a report by The Times, senior Labour MPs are now warning the government not to repeat what they see as the same mistake it made during the recent benefits row. That crisis was sparked after Labour dropped key protections in its welfare reforms, a move that drew strong criticism from MPs and campaigners. One senior Labour MP is quoted in The Times as saying, "The government has got to think again now, or they'll be repeating the same mistake they made with welfare reform. We're all in favour of reforming the system, but that cannot be driven by saving money and taking support away from children." Another unnamed MP added, "If they thought taking money away from disabled adults was bad, watch what happens when they try the same with disabled kids." These comments suggest a growing unease within Labour's ranks, not just over the direction of SEND reform, but over the broader impression that Labour may be putting financial constraints ahead of care and support for vulnerable groups. The timing is also politically sensitive. Labour has only recently taken office, and Starmer is still in the early stages of asserting his legislative agenda. A public clash with his own MPs over SEND reforms, an issue that touches thousands of families across the country, risks not only undermining party unity, but damaging public trust at a critical moment. As of now, no formal rebellion has taken place, but according to The Times, dozens of Labour MPs are believed to be ready to speak out or vote against any attempt to remove legal protections for SEND children. Phillipson has so far maintained that Labour is focused on delivering improvements to the SEND system. However, the lack of a firm commitment to retaining legal entitlements has left many within the party, and in the broader education sector, uneasy. The current system allows parents to apply for an Education, Health and Care Plan, EHCP, a legally binding document that ensures schools provide the necessary tailored support. Critics of the system point to delays, bureaucracy, and inconsistent provision, but supporters argue that the legal framework is what guarantees accountability and forces local authorities to act. With a growing number of children being identified as needing SEND support and an increasing strain on school resources, the debate is far from simple. But for now, Labour's leadership is being urged to clarify its position, and quickly. If Starmer and his team are seen to be backtracking on legal rights for children with disabilities, the political cost could be high. And with backbenchers already drawing parallels to the benefits row, this could become yet another internal battle the Prime Minister wasn't expecting, and certainly doesn't need, so early in his premiership. In other news, a Jamaican man convicted of murder has successfully appealed against deportation, arguing he faces death threats from the notorious One Order gang if forced to return to his homeland. The unnamed migrant, who has lived in Britain since 1996, won his human rights case at the Upper Tribunal in Cardiff after claiming the criminal syndicate had murdered his brothers and attacked his family home. His initial asylum application was rejected by the Home Office, with the first-tier tribunal of the Immigration and Asylum Chamber upholding that decision. However, the upper tribunal found significant flaws in the original ruling, determining that key safety concerns had been overlooked and ordering a fresh hearing. The upper tribunal ruled that the first-tier tribunal had failed to properly assess the migrant's credibility and the genuine risks he might face in Jamaica. Judge Sean O'Brien found that the original tribunal had misunderstood evidence about which family members had been murdered and when these killings occurred. The judge noted the first-tier tribunal judge had overlooked the fact that the core elements of the Jamaican's account were not challenged by the Home Office, had misunderstood his evidence about his family he claimed had been murdered because of gang retribution, and had given no apparent consideration to the attempts made to verify that his sister remained in witness protection. One order established more than 2 decades ago is allegedly affiliated with the Jamaica Labour Party and has been accused of killings, extortion, and drug dealing. The gang operates from Spanish Town, a known criminal hotspot in Jamaica. The migrant claimed that one order member shot his brothers and attacked their family home, forcing his sister into the witness protection program as a safety measure. Earlier this year, the gang's leader, Othniel Thickman Lobban, was killed by police in a shootout, triggering violent reprisals that forced schools and businesses to close. Court documents revealed the migrant committed murder, but provided no specific details, noting only that he had undergone offender management, rehabilitation, and now demonstrates an admirable work ethic. Judge O'Brien acknowledged doubts about certain aspects of the migrant's claims and suggested his lengthy absence from Jamaica might reduce the risk of being targeted. Nevertheless, he concluded that the first-tier tribunal's approach to assessing credibility was erroneous and unsustainable, necessitating a new hearing. All in all, I cannot be satisfied that the judge would necessarily have found that the Jamaican would not be at risk from the One Order gang had she taken a permissible approach to credibility, Judge O'Brien stated. The case will now return for a fresh hearing where all evidence regarding the potential danger from One Order will be reconsidered. Production of a Eurofighter Typhoon has come to a standstill as union chiefs have warned Labour of national security issues. The final assembly line at the ATBAE Systems Wharton factory in Lancashire is winding down as the last jet for Qatar nears completion. The facility, which has assembled Typhoons for decades, now houses just one aircraft awaiting final parts and painting before delivery under a £5 billion order placed in 2017. A union official told the Financial Times, "There is one jet in the hangar, but it is basically waiting for a few parts and to be painted. As far as major assembly goes, it's finished. It isn't sustaining any workers." She noted that workers at BAE and across the UK defence industry will be asking how a government promising to turn defence spending into British growth, British jobs, British skills, British innovation could let it happen. Sharon Graham, General Secretary at the Unite Union, said workers at BAE and across the UK defence industry will be asking how a government promising to turn defence spending into British growth, British jobs, British skills, British innovation could let it happen. She added, "I have repeatedly told government ministers how much is at risk in terms of jobs, skills, and national security if we stop assembling our own fighter planes." The union's concerns centre on the potential loss of critical aerospace industry skills needed for future defence programmes. The UK government has not placed an order for new Typhoon jets since 2009, instead opting to purchase American-made F-35A fighter jets. Defence Secretary John Healey told the Defence Select Committee last week that Britain expects to purchase 27 F-35s to start arriving by the end of the decade, including 12 F-35 RALs, which are cheaper and capable of carrying tactical nuclear bombs. The UK is the only nation in the Typhoon consortium that has not placed an order for the latest model of the aircraft, though it has committed to upgrading its current fleet with new radar systems. The Typhoon is built by a pan-European consortium including BAE, Airbus and Leonardo. Conservative MP Andrew Snowden warned that if the government fails to confirm this order soon, we face the very real prospect of losing a vital national capability, the ability to design, assemble and deliver world-class military aircraft independently. Tim Robinson, editor of the Royal Aeronautical Society's Aerospace magazine, said the break in continuous combat aircraft assembly in the UK should hopefully just be a temporary blip between follow-on export orders for more Eurofighter and then GSAP. However, Robinson cautioned that the longer the gap, the more risk there is of a loss of key skills and critical experience that will be needed for next-generation fighter aircraft. Industry executives said talks on securing new export orders from Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey were progressing. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you have not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.